everyone, and welcome to, there we go, to Sci-Fi-Vision. We're going to call it The Walking Dead Divas. We have The Walking Dead Daryl Dixon tonight. Wait, I screwed up the post. I was trying to fix it and I messed it up when I was doing it. But welcome everybody. Thank you if you are here tonight and watching us live. We appreciate it. It's just going to be me and Karen because I know Lori originally was supposed to do this, but it's having some personal stuff going on, so she can't. So me and Karen are going to do it. Oh, yeah. And if we get enough people, we'll continue it. You know, if it goes well, if people want to see it. But yeah, we're going to do the premiere episode tonight. So for watching, thank you. And make sure you come back tomorrow as well. We have a watch party at 9:30 and a live stream at 11 for Wednesday. And Discord link is in the chat. If you are not a member of our Discord, please join and you can see our schedule and everything. Yeah, and then we have Alien Earth on Wednesday, which we're also going to have Cyborg Queen Media special guests. So yeah, make sure you join us for the rest of the week. And I was going to say, I see Karen is still invisible. Although, there you are. You were invisible for a second there.
Oh, no, I'm here.
Good.
Yeah, I'm happy to be able to sit in for Lori tonight. I'm not I think she's kind of a super fan, right? Or
yeah, she's definitely a bigger, I think, Walking Dead fan than maybe we are at this point.
Yes, but I've seen every episode of everything, so at least know what I'm talking about. And I'm sorry, but there's 50 seconds left in this amazing football game, so that's why I keep turning my head.
So that's why you're not really listening, is that it?
No, I'm listening. I don't have the same TV, but the Ravens are maybe about to blow this game.
Yeah, I'll have to tell us how they do.
So anyway, I watched the show twice. I watched it when it aired at 9. I watched it with you in the watch party at 10. So I think we're all ready to go, right?
Yeah. So what did you think of it?
Well, I think it was kind of slow. So you know, they come through the tunnel in the last episode of last season. They come into London, and we have only like 3/4 of an episode that takes place in the UK, right? It was like they passed through the UK on the way to Spain. I mean, I get it. I mean, I guess if you were in France, of course, and you're trying to go to North America, of course you would take the tunnel. Like Spain's an accident that they wound up there. But we really had this whole episode and we haven't yet set up what's going to happen this season, right? Like next week would be the setup episode, I guess, right?
Yeah, I know I was kind of surprised the way they started it. I mean, we knew they made it out, but I was thinking they would still kind of be a little dazed from that, and it just seemed to start in its own place. But yeah, I would have liked to have maybe seen them stay in England a little bit longer. Like, I get it, that's not the point. They're trying to get, there. Yeah. But so yeah, I don't know that this episode really was super necessary. I'm not saying I didn't like it. I think that it was shot beautifully, great locations as always with the show, and really good effects. Like I said, I'm not saying I don't like this episode. I just don't know that it was necessary because I feel like, they went through England and then they're gone and now they're someplace else. Like, why did we have to see them get from point A to point B? I mean, other than, look, Carol getting hurt was important, but I mean, I don't know. I just feel like it was something that it ended so quick, like this little story section. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah. It was a little, I mean, I guess I get it, like geographically, like there's no reason they would go from France to Spain, right? Although honestly, if my only way to get home was to go on that little sailboat across the Atlantic Ocean, I'd be like, well, I guess I live in England now because I'm not doing that.
It's kind of crazy to think that they're going to get back to America, but this is Walking Dead. I'm sure they will, eventually, because they can go anywhere and travel across the country in 5 minutes, it is what it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess I just feel like this episode was kind of self-contained, and I don't know in the scheme of things, other than perhaps Carol getting hurt, if it was really necessary. But I mean, I liked it, and I like Stephen Merchant. I was really disappointed he was only in there for like The one
Yeah,
episode.
I don't know who he is. He did not look familiar to me. I didn't recognize his name. Now he's known as a comedian, and not, I'm not like a comedy watcher.
Yeah, he's known in the UK more than.
Well, I read his whole IMDb, and I think he was in. He was in Shaun of the Day. He was in Hot Fuzz, right? Which I didn't see. Like I haven't seen pretty much anything that he was in.
I knew him because I watch a lot of British stuff, but I was going to say that show that was on not that long ago that I'm blanking on the name of it. I had seen and watched him for that when he was on The Outlaws, which is really good and really funny.
Never heard of it.
It is comedy, but yeah, so he's been in that. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, like I said, I watch a lot of stuff from over the pond, so I might recognize him maybe more than you would. But either way, I just was kind of surprised that they brought him in just to kill him at the end of the episode. But it sounds like from the little behind the scenes clip thing after the episode that he couldn't do more than that. So I guess that's why he was not long for the show.
Yeah, I mean, maybe there's a version of this script where he survived and is with them for a while as a supporting character in Spain, right?
Yeah, maybe.
Stephen Merchant can only do one episode, so they kill him. And it, I mean, we could talk about how they end up taking up with him, but it's not surprising that someone who enters Carol and Daryl's orbit ends up dead.
Well, that part, yes, you're correct with that. They don't last so long whenever they end up with our people because they always end up getting people killed. I know you had said that earlier. You don't necessarily want to hang out with our group of people, right? You might not be long for this world.
Oh my God, we just lost this game with like 0 seconds left. They kicked it. Oh my God, oh my God. I can't believe I'm sorry. Sorry, Golden Child is watching this game. What a disgrace. What a disgrace. Oh.
Well, I guess, I was gonna say maybe I don't know which team he likes, but
I hope he likes the Ravens, who really had this game set and blew it and lost it.
Sorry.
You guys suck, and I can say that because I work for them. So, I mean, I'm a bartender down there.
Yeah, you're allowed.
I might have to puke a little bit in my mouth right now watching this. And Buffalo of all teams. Sorry. Anyway, I can join sports with the guys on Monday, right? When do they do sports talk? Monday night?
Yeah, Monday night. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not a sports person, so I'm not the right person to ask. So this quote, I have my dead and I let them go, that they put at the beginning. I mean, I think it's in reference to kind of the whole beginning. I don't know if it's at the beginning or later on. It was one of the conversations with Carol and Daryl when she's talking about seeing Sophia, and that it was like she was telling her that she could just let everything go and move on. And I think that's what that is in reference to.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the like hallucination stuff. I wasn't a fan of it in the last episode where, Bat Guano made everyone start hallucinating. The fact that Daryl and Carol hallucinated the same person, although to be fair, what's her name? What was her name?
Now that you said that, I'm going to blank.
French woman. I can remember her actress name. Clemence Posey is the actress, right?
But you said that, I'm blanking. I knew her name until you said that.
But, I mean, that they both hallucinated her, right? But I guess they had both just spent a lot of time with her, so maybe, I don't know. And then there was a little flash of like a flashback in this episode, which I wasn't.
Wait a second. Carol didn't hallucinate his girlfriend.
Yes, she says in the. She hallucinated Sophia, didn't she? She
hallucinated Sophia.
Yeah.
I'm looking for her name. I can't believe I know her name, but like I'm so blanking that I can't think of what her name is, and now it's gonna drive me nuts until we find it. Isabel.
That's right. Yeah. Carol hallucinated Sophia. I mean, those Sophia flashbacks throughout the season I didn't really like that much. I hope that they would, not that I think that Carol should be over it. Like, would you ever get over the death of a child? I don't know. I don't have a child. But like, I I don't really like. Well, I always hate dreams and hallucinations in any
Yeah.
show. Always, right?
Yeah.
So.
And they were with a group of people there at that point, but they all got separated when they had hallucinations, and then the two of them got back together at the end, and they made it through the tunnel. Is basically where the episode left off. I do like though when Daryl says that bat guano messes with your mind, and Carol's like, "That's why they call it batshit crazy."
Yeah, I guess so. Yes. So.
These are really. I love the locations though, and I know that they said like a lot of them were like, location shots, but not necessarily. They didn't necessarily film in England, but they look really good at any rate. So.
Well, that's why they did those establishing shots, I guess, like the one before. Those are the cliffs of the famous white cliffs of Dover, I guess, in the previous shot, and they said in the post show feature that this is all CGI, right?
Yeah.
Oh no, they shot Spain for London, and they dressed some of the streets and stuff to look
like London. Yeah, except other than like you said, like the establishing shots, like when they took film, filmed the area in order to insert as clips or as matte paintings, whatever. But yeah, it took place in Spain. But I thought it looks really good, and I liked seeing them in England, and I would have liked seeing them in England longer, but it is what it is. But yeah, they're talking about they very quickly talk about the hallucinations, not really enough at this point to give you anything. Then they start talking about she's got a can of hot dogs that is, I think, number 1 expired, and number 2, ew. Meat in a can, not so sure about.
I think all food is expired on the entire show, right? I mean, like all food has been expired on the show for like years and years, and for the 10 years that we're watching the show, the food is expired.
Yeah, everything but Twinkies, maybe, right? Which lasts indefinitely.
That's from that other zombie show, Zombieland. You can actually die from expired food in a can if you're not careful, right?
For meat, I would think especially, but I guess.
Well, I don't know about. I mean, anything they say in a can, you can,
Maybe. Well, most canned food lasts a really long time. That's why they, non-perishable. But yeah, after a certain point, they're probably not very good.
After what, 15 years, right?
Yeah. But one of the things you kind of got to just forget about that there's.
I mean, they're also probably pretty tough, and their bodies have probably like adjusted to bacteria in a different way than ours are now. What do they call it? Their gut microbiome.
Yeah, that's the biome. I was going to say genome. You're right, biome, not genome. I was thinking of the DNA. Yeah, you could be right. But the point is, this can of hot dogs becomes sort of, I guess, important because she says that they're going to keep it for a special occasion, and it's kind of brought up a few times that she saved this hot dog can.
I predict they keep appearing until the second to last episode, where they either get eaten or lost.
Yeah, they're probably going to eventually eat them or lose them. You're right. Otherwise, what's the point? But yeah, I guess it just represents she's trying to hold it out for a better time, thinks things are going to be better, represents hope or whatever. But he does make a point too. Daryl says that all we do is run and fight, and that's no way to live. I mean, look, that's what they have to do. They're trying to get back. Honestly, sometimes I think, why are they trying to get back? Like, would they not be better to try to make a home there? Because, in real life, that isn't the show, you couldn't get back to United States, most likely from being, where they're at. Like, you might as well give it up, right?
I mean, I think wasn't he maybe living kind of he could have stayed in the Commonwealth. Like, he's the one who chose to leave the Commonwealth, right? Like, where he was raising Rick's kids.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know, maybe he had to, I mean, I know that he went looking for Rick. Maybe he had to leave home to appreciate it, like Dorothy in Wizard of Oz. I don't know. But I mean, they were always fighting. Like Alexandria was always fighting, right? And like the Commonwealth was not great until Rick and Carol took it over. But yeah, I mean, he also, I think maybe Daryl has like changed a bit from falling in love with Isabel, right? And he did consider staying in France with her and Laurent, right? Like that was before Carol showed up. He maybe would have just settled down there with them.
Maybe. I guess I'm just saying, like, in the scheme of things, it would probably be safer to find a place to stay. But, here they can easily get, across to another country in the show. So we just kind of ignore that there. But yeah, he makes a point of saying that. So clearly he wants to be done running, but he does want to get back to where they're at. And yeah, I mean, I don't know. That might become a theme, I would think, this season. But yeah, they keep going, and this is where there's ye American hot dogs or whatever it is it says. So they get to, I have way too many pictures here. Hold on, let me.
Oh, yeah, not only are they hot dogs, but they're not, like, she got them in England. Like, they're an English person's idea of what American hot dogs should be, which probably makes them even worse, right?
That's true.
Not like a good old,
yeah.
what?
I was gonna say Samuel's right too, though. He says
yeah. Carol says it. Carol says, or trade them, right? Or Daryl says, or somebody says it. But yeah, they're not even like they're not even like a good old hot dog that you get at like the ballpark or something, you know.
Yeah.
Like,
although to be fair, I don't know that any canned hot dog is going to be a good American hot dog. But
we call them Vienna sausages. Sometimes they're in a can, right?
Maybe, but I don't know. I've never seen hot dogs in a can. I've seen Spam in a can.
Well, maybe they have them. Maybe it's a thing in England where we don't live. So, right?
It might be. But they're at the checkpoint, so they're planning to go over into England, where they've ended up to London. And so none of this is actually there, because that actually kind of looks, I don't know if that's supposed to be Trafalgar Square or not. I don't know a lot about London. I just know like what I've seen from Doctor Who and Harry Potter. That's pretty much the extent of my England. But yeah, there's signs saying to stop, go back. I mean, not that that's not expected, but
it says "sod off,"
yeah, which is a British insult, right?
Yeah.
So they get through, and I mean, look, it looks like a lot of the cities do that we've seen. Everything's kind of at a standstill. But I think that the main takeaway from this, obviously, is that there's no people that are alive that seem to be hanging out there. Golden Child says Vienna mini hot dogs are basically like Spam.
Vienna sausages. Okay.
Yeah, I've never. I've tasted Spam, but that's the extent of my meat in a can knowledge. So
fried Spam, which I haven't eaten in probably 25 years, but this was an interesting way they went with London. Like, you know how in like 28 Days Later, London is the place that the UK did not get infected, right? It was an island, and they did get infected. No, they were totally infected in 28 Days Later, but they managed to cut themselves off, right, at the end of the movie. And there are other like movies I've seen where, being an island, they've been able to like cut themselves off and survive longer. And you know, we've seen like New York and other big cities have had some people, and they chose to go this route where there's no people except. So by the end of this episode, they basically managed to kill the last guy alive, right? At least in London. He thinks he's the last person in the UK. He's at least the last person in London.
Yeah. You know, you say that, but he did mention that and that was what I was trying to remember too. Did they blow their ways out of the tunnel? I couldn't remember how exactly they got out, because he made a point of saying that in London that they closed off the tunnel so the rest of Europe couldn't get in. But clearly Daryl did. So I couldn't remember if they blew their way through or exactly. I don't know that it matters, but it just made me wonder, how did they get through? I don't remember. I should have rewatched the finale.
Yeah, I don't know. They were hallucinating on bat guano when they went through. So I guess they found a little hole where two people could crawl through.
Yeah, and they found a way through. And I thought I got a better picture of Big Ben. I didn't. Obviously, it's not really filmed there, but there was like a really cool angle.
Also, do you remember? Oh, you don't watch Invasion. In Invasion, the kids leave London. The kids are going from London to France. They're going from England. Like, actually, the tunnels don't go from London. It goes from like It goes from some other place. It goes from Calais to I forget where. But in Invasion, they're blowing it. They're also blowing it for protection. Like in Invasion, they're blowing it to. Why are they blowing it? To keep aliens from going through it? I don't know why. Aliens have spaceships. For some reason, in Invasion, they also. This is a common thing in these kind of. In movies and shows, I guess, that they want to blow the tunnel.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that makes sense. It keeps the people out, right?
Yeah. It's one of the best episodes of Invasion, actually, when it's very tense when the kids are trying to escape and get to France through the tunnel. It's a pretty great episode, actually, if anybody's watching that show. But anyway, they chose to do this thing, this like I Am Legend type deal where this is the last man left in the city.
Yeah. Well, he said the last, what did he say? The last
Is him the last Englishman in England?
Yeah, something like that. But yeah, they come into, they're on Liverpool Street, according to that. I more or less took that because it said 23 and it made me laugh. And I thought of you, and that's why I took the picture. Last number. I don't know. I know they said that they, dressed up the set, but I really like this street. I would have liked to have seen more of them on it. And I guess that's dumb. Like, you're not really supposed to be focusing on the locations, but I don't know. I like looking at the locations.
The show has gotten a lot of credit for its location filming. Now, this was not, it was on location, but not the location, right? They dressed this, what they say, everything above 9 meters is CGI. But everything the street level, they dressed.
Yeah, so all the background shots in that are later, are
practical.
The actual stuff is practical. Either way, it looks really cool. But I was just gonna say, like, with the channel and everything we're talking about, like, I do know that Europe, like, traversing from one country to another is not a long distance. I guess, like, you can drive across. It's not like the United States. It takes you, days to drive across. So,
so I don't have my comparisons easily, but like if you were to drive from France to Spain, I don't know, it might be like driving through several states, right? Yeah, it would take hours, but not days, right?
Right. So it's definitely like saying they can go from France to Spain is a lot more believable than they can go from Spain to America, which I'm sure at some point they'll get to. It's a big difference. But yeah, it's not that different. I think you can drive from one end of Europe to the other. I want to say in a day, but that might not be accurate.
Well, it depends what you mean by that. Like if you meant from the northernmost tip of Scandinavia to the tip of Italy, like no, you can't do that.
No, right? But I just mean like from one side to the other or whatever. I don't know. But anyway, there are these, I do like these walkers, these overgrown zombie, they are covered in vines and trees and plants.
Really? I felt like I'd seen it before, but then I realized I'd seen it maybe in Dead City with all those walkers in Central Park that were like coming out of the vines also.
Well, that's true. I guess they were a little bit like that. I just like at least do different things, but I guess you're right. We kind of have seen it, but I don't know. I thought they looked really good. I liked it. And
we've seen like zombies grown into the greenery before. I mean, they still look cool. I'm not saying they don't look cool. It's not the most, it's not a totally original idea, but how many new ways are there to show a zombie, right? Like, but from this point forward, like Carol and Daryl better be more careful when they're around shrubbery.
Yeah, I know, right? But they make their way through and eventually, I thought I had a picture of them trying to get through. They find an apartment that they break into and they kind of seal off in order to get away from them. And this is where they spend a little bit of time. Kind of this, Carol even says it's like this posh apartment. And the person who owns the place, I guess, I'm guessing that's the guy that owns the place. He's hung himself and he's kind of there wiggling. He's a zombie, a walker now. But otherwise the place is empty. Now, I mean, look, you knew that it wasn't going to stay empty and they were going to fight them. And I mean, but I liked the way they did it. I mean, they got a little of a break, went through a little bit, and then I was thinking though, Daryl, you should be sharing that candy with Carol. That was
well, he does after the scene.
He does after, yeah. He eventually does.
I was thinking you should have. Are you going to stab that guy in the head? And they don't, right? Like we're at a point now where they don't really try to kill. Like there's a part of me that's like, oh, that guy tried to kill himself, and he really should be more skeleton-y because he probably hanged himself before they knew that everyone was infected, right? And that if you hang yourself, you will come back as a walker. He probably didn't know that. He's been hanging there for like 10 years. And there's part of it that's like, oh, Daryl, do the compassionate thing and like stab him in the head, right? And also because you never know when a zombie will come up on you. But I guess there's a part where like you just can't kill them all. And also like trying to kill it could be taking a risk, right? Like you think it's hanging there, it's safe, it's not a problem. And if you go at it, would it bite you or something, right? I mean, I guess there's reasons why Daryl But
I guess I feel some. I mean, I kind of figured it was going to come down and attack them. I mean, if it's there, we know that's going to happen. I sometimes wonder that they've not become too complacent, that they just kind of ignore them when they're not.
They do
when
seem to
an outright threat.
Be a little less careful, right? Like we all knew that guy was going to fall down. I guess he's been hanging there for 10 plus years.
Like what would make you think he's suddenly going to come down? That is a good point. But we know as viewers that if he's there, he's going to come down.
Yeah.
He's
also, maybe they're starving. Maybe they're just starving and don't have time to kill zombies until they find some food.
Yeah. I did like that he had, I think it was a cricket bat, wasn't it? That he grabbed.
I think it was cricket bat, yeah.
Whacking the walkers with it. And then she gets, I don't know if I got a picture of it or not, I guess not, but she gets a fire extinguisher and shoots it with that. So that they at least used unique weapons in this scene. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
That was a cool scene. I mean, it's just a good opening scene for some good fights.
Whole episodes go by sometimes when we don't see any zombies at all. And so we saw a bunch of zombie kills in this episode.
Yeah. Which makes me wonder if there's not going to be a lot of walkers for a while. Like they just kind of shoved them all in there,
Yeah.
But they look outside. Now this is a cool shot. I'm sure it was CGI.
Oh yeah.
So all of the streets now are filled with walkers because they woke them up. I mean, a lot of them weren't even out. They woke up. So they kind of
I mean, Carol was shooting her gun. You didn't take a shot of it, but I was actually impressed. So, when they're trying to get into this apartment building and Daryl's got his crossbow and Carol's got her gun. And I noticed Carol, every single shot was a perfect headshot. But I guess after you've been using a gun every single day for
with unlimited bullets.
With unlimited bullets I keep saying 15 years, but more than 10 years every day shooting, your aim might get pretty good, right?
Yeah. Also Daryl's probably taught her how to shoot over the years. But
I do think there's an element of marksmanship of just being a good shot, and maybe Carol's just a good shot, but I mean, Daryl taught her many years ago. I mean, she doesn't need Daryl to teach her. She was taught.
No, I'm just saying at some point he probably
She was taught in the original show when Rick set up practice for all of them to learn how to shoot, right? Yeah. And Daryl was part of teaching them, but I think Rick was everybody's got to learn how to shoot, right?
Yeah, which at this point, yes, I think that everybody. I feel like
you're alive, you're a good shot.
You should pretty much know how to shoot weapons.
If you're a bad shot, you got killed.
Yeah. And I also really like, though, that when it comes to Daryl and Carol, he knows Carol is, knows what she's doing. He doesn't have to come to her rescue. He lets her kill him, and then he's like, "You okay? Yeah, okay, let's go." They don't stop to for him to coddle her, which sometimes they do with other characters because they're not necessarily been around as long. Well, they've been around as long, but they haven't been around our characters as long.
Yeah.
But he clearly is plenty capable, which is awesome. But yeah, they have a problem. They can't go down because of all the walkers down there. So they're going to hang out there for a bit, and there's where he shares the candy, and there's a really good shot of the skyline there. But yeah, they're going to have to hang out in London a bit and try to figure out what to do. So 2 days later, he has looked for food. He's not found anything but alcohol. And I know he makes a comment about it. Fuck those Scots. That's all they found is the alcohol. But yeah, they talk about that maybe they'll eat the hot dogs. They're going to leave at dawn. But then they see a light come through, which is, I guess, the important part of this. I don't have a picture of it, but somewhere here, they see a light come through.
Someone signaling.
Yeah, I thought there he is. They see they see a light come through. It looks like maybe somebody's signaling from that to them. They don't know for sure, but he breaks the mirror, takes a piece just in case, to make sure that they have signals back that they're there, but they don't know that it's anything. So they just kind of move on until they wake up in the middle of the night when they hear somebody on the roof, and it ends up being this guy who they almost shoot.
Julian.
Julian. Yeah. Julian Chamberlain. Mm-hmm. And he's like, "Oh, he basically is like, I come bearing gifts." That's not what he says, but that's basically, he's like, "I got rabbits." And so yeah, Kelly said, "I'm assuming you mean the walkers." So that made me think of Dead City.
I think she means when he rappelled down the side of the building, because
yeah,
they had all those zip lines set up all around New York City.
Yeah, they did. That's true. Yeah, he does say it took him forever to get there because you have to go through the rooftops to get there. But yeah, he's just kind of like, hey, I brought food. I come in peace. So they decide to trust him and they all sit down to dinner, which I mean, they did trust him a little quick, but I mean, they have to move the show along. So I was okay with it. But I did kind of think like, should you be trusting this guy? Is he coming to get you for some other, in this show, you never know, right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
he seems like a really good guy and is just kind of like he says, like you said earlier, he says he's the last Englishman there. And he talks about, which they did see a sign earlier of squid, which is what he calls the walkers. I'm not sure if the other people there called him that or it was just him, but in that town at least, maybe. And he goes through like this whole long thing of why he came up with the name because it rhymed with this. Which
Well, I don't know if he did. I mean, that's a real thing in Cockney slang that they like a lot of Cockney slang comes up with it's based on these long rhyming chains of words, right? That's a real thing. Okay. So I thought maybe, do you remember? So Jamie, if you've seen have you seen Ocean's 11?
Long time ago, yeah.
There's a character who's a Cockney character, and he says all these like slang things that are based on this type of slang, which these rhyming chains of words. So I think maybe it became a nickname in London, and he still uses it even though everybody else is dead. Yeah, he doesn't look like a guy who really speaks or sound like a guy who speaks Cockney slang.
Okay, that's true.
He doesn't have
a no, I just wondered if it was the whole town or what, but they bring it up and that's what he calls them.
Mm-hmm.
So we got this new word. And like I had said to you earlier in the chat, I had said to everybody, like, I like that when they have different groups of people, they come up with different names to give the walkers, but they do it a little too much lately, I feel like.
Yeah.
I don't know. But yeah, so the idea is he tells them about how they shut down the channel, sealed it off, and then nobody could get out. He also says that he tried to escape with a group of people in London, that he had a boat, but he couldn't sail alone. They died. So yeah, it didn't work out. And they immediately are like, he has a boat. This is good. We need to talk to him. And they try to kind of butter him up a little bit. And they're like, hey, well, we could go. We can help you. And he's like, well, we could all just stay here. He's just happy to find people. He wants them to stay there because he's scared, I guess, because the other group died and he's not a real courageous person. And he would rather just stay there and not be alone. I think he's probably also afraid if they go and they die, he'll end up alone again. I mean, he doesn't say that, but I think that makes a lot of sense if that's the case, because he's been there alone for a long time. But obviously they want the boat. Now, I kind of want
Go ahead.
No, go ahead, because I was going to say what I said earlier.
Well, I was a little suspicious. I mean, there were two things about this scene. One is where Daryl's like, you have a boat? And they like, I felt like, gee, could you guys be a little more subtle that now you're just using this guy for his boat? But also when they were like, well, you can come with us. And he said, well, also you could stay here. And then I was like, oh my God, he's not going to capture them and make them stay. Is he? Like, for a minute, I was worried that was the storyline we were going to get.
Could have been. I was more thought they were going to steal the boat off of him. And I was thinking, this guy seems nice. Don't steal his boat. That was what I immediately thought.
Well, they don't know how to sail. They can't steal his boat. They don't know how to sail.
Well, to be fair, he really didn't know that much either. I mean, I guess he's had
some. He knew how to navigate. He knew how to use his little compass thingy. He knew like a lot. He knew a lot. I mean, I think he didn't know how to sail across the Atlantic Ocean, but he knew how to sail the river, and so he knew how to sail, right? He knew more than these two.
Yes, but the point is, they lie and say they know what they're doing. How do you think we got here? We had our own boat, because they want the boat. So they lead him to believe that, and he's kind of dumb and false.
They lead him to believe that they would be competent mates on a boat.
Yeah, that's what he's hoping anyway. But he says he'll meet them back the next morning, and they kind of are worried, like, is he even coming back? Did we push him too much? But he says he'll meet them at, I think, 10 a.m. or whatever. And they're like, how do we know when that is? And he's like, you'll know. I really like that part, how they did that. That he sets off Big Ben. The the bells make all the walkers move out of the front of the building so they can climb down, and
it was
it's
cool.
a little safer. Yeah, I like that. I think that's pretty smart.
It's a little like, oh, I taught myself how to work Big Ben in the last year, which is a little silly, but it is a neat trick. And using bells, church bells, any kind of bells. And I mean, I don't know, maybe if you can, I guess there are real bells up there. A lot of towers nowadays are electronic. I guess there are real, it's Big Ben. It's really old. So there's probably real bells up there, right?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I don't know how Big Ben works, but you're right. That is a little far-fetched. But I mean,
it's so
got
cool.
unlimited bullets and unlimited gas. I can go with the bells. Yeah, but I like it.
I can go with it. It was cool. It was a cool idea, and it gets all the zombies to like go towards the bells, right?
Yeah,
so and they vacate the area.
Samuel says Michonne can sail in the comic and in the Telltale game. I didn't know that. Do you remember her sailing in the comic? I mean, you've read the comic. I haven't.
Well, so isn't it like a boat in the mud where she finds Rick's cell phone?
I was gonna say, yeah, I guess she did kind of sail a little bit in the show.
She sails gets imprisoned on some island by some crazy guy for a little while, right?
Yeah, there's that.
I mean, they did have a community at Oceanside, so didn't she go sailing for like a year when she was like all like? Was that in the comic book or in the show where she gets all torn up about like? Rick.
I mean, there's the part where she leaves her kids that I never understood and goes off after Rick, but I didn't.
Well, I mean, that's in the show. In the comic book, I think she goes to sea with the Oceanside, or goes maybe not to sea, but she goes like sailing up and down the coast with the Oceanside people for a while because her boyfriend isn't Rick in the comic book. It's is it when Bob dies? Anyway, yeah, I think she spends some time sailing. But Carol doesn't know how to sail now when she needs to know. Yeah. Neither does Daryl, obviously. But hey, they're like they say, they're quick learners. We'll figure it out. He does finally realize, though, they lied to him at first because he's like, I put this food in the stern. That's the front of the boat, right? Like that was so obviously a trap to fall into, and I would have been like, no, that's the back. Like even though I don't know, I would have guessed it was the back. You could tell what the bow on the stern is not. I mean, a lot of people who don't sail know the front and the back of a boat, right? But anyway, to me, it was like obvious that he was lying. But he was testing them, and they think they're not lying. That's what I meant. Yeah. And he says he flunked out of Royal Naval College, so that's why he knows some sailing because he did take some classes. He just never finished it. But he's afraid to go because he's like, if I'm the one in charge and I do something wrong and I make a decision that's wrong, you guys get killed. And I do like that Daryl's like, all those people that pass the class are squid. You're not, so you're ahead of them. Samuel says she was dating Ezekiel at that time. Yeah, they were fishing. That's right. Yeah, thank you. I love though when he says that we're gonna head for the Thames, and he's like, "It's a river." Like I'm bad at geography, but even I know it's a river. How do you not know the Thames River in London? I mean, yeah, that was funny. I thought it was funny anyway. It wasn't relevant, but it was funny. So they go out, they get on the boat, and I don't know if I have a picture of it. I don't think I do. But there's the London Bridge. I guess it's probably London Bridge. Yeah. The bridge is up, and I'm thinking, yeah, the bridge just happens to be up, so your sailboat can go right on through, right? Well, I believe it's called, I think it's Tower Bridge, they call it, but it's really high. I mean, their sailboat could definitely fit under it. Could have went through either way. Okay. Yeah, it's really high. It opens up for like bigger ships. See, in the background, there's kind of a big ship on the left, like a ferry in the background of the shot. It's not a ferry in the background, like much bigger. It opens for much bigger. Their sailboat would totally fit under Tower Bridge. Went through either way. Okay, I just wonder because it just seemed kind of convenient. But yeah, they head off on the river. They get lost for a bit. He's trying to figure it out, but lo and behold, this part was kind of dippy because they're like, we're lost. And he's like, yes, but somehow we're exactly right on course. This to me is like them traveling across the country in a day, It's like, yeah, somehow you're perfectly in the right spot. Like he doesn't seem to know what he's doing, but yet he somehow knows you're going the right way. I don't think he doesn't know what he's doing. He doesn't have confidence. I mean, he's using the little thing. He's making the circles. He's plotting their course. He doesn't not know what he's doing. And he expresses a great deal of insecurity that he says was because the teacher would always be yelling at him in class. I feel like what this was that he's really insecure and he would like surprise himself that he'd done it correctly and they were exactly where they were supposed to be.
All right, that's fair. I can buy
That's how I took it, because he mentioned how the teachers were yelling at him and being like, your crew's going to die. And I mean, I don't think he doesn't know what he's doing. But again, there's a big difference between being like a local sailor and having the skills to cross the Atlantic Ocean.
That's fair. Well,
that's why they always make a huge deal in the newspaper when someone crosses right? The news is always like, anytime somebody crosses in a boat, a little tiny boat, it's like a huge deal.
Yeah, it's not that easy. But either way, they're somehow perfectly right on course for America, which they're going to be able to get there in, I think he says 17 days. Now,
I mean, look, if Christopher Columbus, if people could do it for like hundreds of years before like modern shipping, like it's possible, right? He's using the techniques that people have been using since the Vikings.
Yeah. My question is it possible that quickly? I know it's possible, but I'm curious,
11 to 17 days, he said, if the wind holds out.
Something like that. Yeah.
I would have to Google that.
I'll Google it. Okay. Google. They're on their way. They're like, yay, we're going to get to America, which they're not going to get to America right now. So we kind of already know that it's not going to go like that.
How long does it take to sail a sailboat from England to North America?
A long time.
The internet says between 4 weeks and several months, depending on the weather, the boat, the this, the that. So 4 weeks is like 28 days.
Yeah, maybe exaggerating a bit, but
a small boat might take nearly a month, while a larger, faster, modern boat could average 800 miles a day and cross in a matter of days.
So I guess it depends how fast the engine is the answer.
And if the wind is with you and where you're going, right? Like if he's trying to go in like a straight shot to like.
Yeah, that's true too. Like if you normally go on a boat, you would have to go a certain route because, you don't want to run into people. Then they can go wherever they want because there's nobody else sailing. They can just.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
So there's that. But either way, he says that they're on the way. So they're kind of all, excited that they're going to hopefully get there. And there's some good shots of the boat. But everything is going to plan at this point. And then Carol and Daryl have this conversation where this is where she talks about seeing her daughter in the tunnel, and she feels like she was telling her that it was okay to let go. And she says she feels peace, and she's excited for what's next. And I love, she says, do I sound nutty? And he says, yeah, that'll never change.
Yeah.
They're just such good friends. I love that. But he's, he saw Isabel, and so to him it was not an easy time, and she had just died. But he's trying to be positive for her, and they like sit there and they kind of have a good.
I hope it means we don't have to have any more like Carol hallucination flashbacks of Sophia this season.
Yeah, that would be good.
It can be over then, maybe, right?
Yeah, that would be good. But yeah, they're on their way. And then let's see, the next day, there's this conversation where, not that we really need to know because he's going to die anyway, but where Julian's saying that like he, saved up all his money he wanted to meet somebody. And he's like, now the squid came, there's nobody left to meet. And Daryl's like, well, maybe we'll meet somebody in America. Wait and see, But there's
Julian's is a really sad story, right? Like he tells the story of like finally being ready, like he just seems like a man who like a normal guy, but a guy who had some insecurities and some fears, and he's just ready now to like, he feels like financially enough secure to try to find a partner. And then the world and then he manages to like live like and be the last man. And then he runs into these two, and he doesn't want to leave, but they talk him into leaving because I guess maybe he's not strong enough to stand up to them and say like, no, I don't want to go. It's a really sad story arc.
But I also question like how enjoyable it would be living by yourself and being the last person in the country. Like that can't have been a good, like even if you're afraid to go, like that's gotta suck, right?
Okay, so, but I don't think unless he walked, did he ever leave London? Unless he scoured the entire country, he doesn't really know. Like he's the last person in the country, right? Like
we're just supposed to take it at face value, so I don't know.
But he's been alone for a long time, right? Like
I don't know. Figures by now he would have seen somebody. I think is the point if somebody was there.
I guess, but he, it speaks to his will to survive, that he survived this long, right? Like if it's so unenjoyable, he could have killed himself at any time.
That's true.
Right.
That's true.
I mean,
Like
he
that
has
guy
a
that-
will. He had a will to survive, and to finally somebody would come. Right? Maybe he like, and finally somebody came, and it's these two.
Yeah, which he probably should have ran the other way.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, he wanted to stay behind. They talked him into leaving, and they're like, you have a good life in America, and clearly that's not going to happen. But there is a storm coming, and they have to start putting the sail down. I guess is the point. I don't know enough about sailing.
Oh yeah, because you don't want the strong winds to catch you and throw you about. So you have to take down the sail.
Yeah, so they're taking him down, and Julian ends up getting hit by I think he calls it a boom. I didn't know what it was.
The boom. You know, when they say lower the boom, that comes from sailing.
Oh, boom. Okay, I thought he said boom. Okay, boom. Okay, so he gets hit in the head and is out for the count right now. And Carol kind of takes care of him a little bit, but yeah, they've got to go on. He tells them they can do it, and keep calm and bugger on. I like when he says that. He's like, go out and take care of it. And they're kind of worried, but
I love this shot in the after show feature.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I like the part in the after show feature when Norman Reedus said Melissa Bride. He goes, when you have to give your cat a bath. That's what she looked like.
That's what he said. Yeah, looks like a drowned rat. Basically, that was funny. Yeah, but he's telling her that they'll be okay or whatever, and she's like, because she says, "I'm glad." Oh, I know. Right before this happened, she says, "I'm glad I found you." And he's like, "Don't." He's like, "We're getting home," and she's like, "With our fucking hot dogs."
Yeah.
It was crazy, but it was funny. But yeah. So and then we see in the morning I thought I had a picture of the boat there. I don't.
Washed up.
They are washed up and stranded, both of them, and yeah, they're screwed. It's on land. Can they get it back into the water? I don't know. I know Carol's like, shit, this isn't Maine, is it? It's like, no, you're a long way from that.
Yeah. How broken is the boat? How smashed up is it? We don't really,
I know she's seeing 3 of them, and he's like, that's your worst nightmare. Like, I doubt it. That was funny. But yeah, so he goes to the boat to look for Julian, which he's not there. And then Carol sees this kind of blurry.
Oh my God. Were you like screaming at the TV? Like, you have a concussion, you can't see. Just stay where you are. Don't go.
Yeah, like you knew he was a walker if she's seeing him like that, right? Like you knew that was what was going on. So yeah, he's a walker. He looks like he had a lot of fun with this though. Like he was kind of like a wacky looking walker, wasn't he?
Well, and it's nice to see the occasional like fresh walker, like a person who just died. The walkers, most of the walkers now are so rotten away and stuff, right? We don't get to see
other than being a little waterlogged, he's pretty fresh. But he goes at Carol, and Daryl, of course, knocks him out and kills him. So yeah, he saves her, and then that night he's worried. Number one, worried she has a concussion because she keeps wanting to go to sleep, but she has a piece of metal in her back that's stuck that he's got to cut out, obviously, and she's got a fever
with like a tiny little first aid scissors.
Yeah, so he goes into the boat because they're staying. I don't know exactly what they were on, something on the beach, but he's going back.
He has a tarp like across 2 big boulders, making a little tent type area.
So he goes back into the boat, gets like a sewing kit, scissors, a knife, some stuff with like a little tackle box. Now, look, regardless of what happens after, did you not think that it was so stupid that they were staying on the beach and didn't take the stuff out of the boat? Because that was what I thought right away. Like, why aren't you either A, in the boat, or B, take the food out of the boat? Like, you don't just leave it in the boat because shit like this can happen.
Well, because of stuff like this. I mean, I guess they assumed Carol's very sick and damaged. And maybe they thought they were alone, right? I mean, definitely they thought they were alone. Not maybe. They definitely thought they were alone.
I just feel like she was okay enough for him to like leave. Why she stayed there for a little bit. I mean, if I was Carol, I would have been like, go get the freaking food. Like, you don't leave it there because shit goes down.
I guess. I mean, he thinks he's going to fix the boat and they're going to go back to sea, right? He says at some point, like I'm going to fix the boat.
Yeah, I just feel like I mean, granted, it's a TV show, but it's like that you don't leave it like that. Like, no, you at least take the food and go. I don't know. It looks like Kelly agreed with me. He's like, yes. I remember yelling at him like, why are you only bringing back the little sewing kit? At least bring some shit back with you when you got the.
I mean, she's very sick. She might die.
I know.
He's not like he's trying to get this out of her as soon as possible. Maybe he intended to go back and look. I agree with both you and Kelly because in this show, someone is definitely going to come and grab your shit from you, right? But in for like a person, I always complain that these characters don't act like normal people, and so for like a person in the real world, maybe he's just focused on like I can't believe I'm making excuses for these horrible writers, but here I am. Because these writers are better than the other shows. Maybe he's just like in a rush to tend to her.
I can buy that. I don't know. I even thought like when he went back, like if you're going back, at least grab stuff when you go back. Like I get if he didn't want to leave her there, but he had to go back to get the sewing stuff. Like at least grab some food on the way, right?
I guess if I had a piece of metal sticking out of my back and you went, I'd be like, Jimmy, what are you doing? Get that shit and get back here and fix my shoulder.
And I would have been like, you'll be happy when people steal our food.
Yeah.
But yeah, either way, there's this whole scene where he has to cut it out of her back and he has to. Do you notice how he takes the alcohol too? I love that he's like, here, drink some of this. And he's like he takes it himself.
Yeah.
I'm sure though it was
pretty gross. Like you don't have a picture of it because it's too gross, right?
I don't think I have there.
Oh yeah, you do. There it is.
Yeah, the piece of metal that's stuck in there.
Yeah,
it was gross. And Daryl did a good job. He got it out, and I guess sewed it up. But they've learned to take care of themselves after so long. They don't really have a choice.
Yeah.
But yeah, then he goes out to I think wash her sweater off or something, and he sees all these guys with torches that make me think of Yellow Jackets because they have all these crazy.
I was very disappointed in this.
Really?
Yes. This is what I typed like in the chat during the watch. I was like, why do they only meet freaks? Like they're wearing like they have like literal cattle skulls on their heads and they're wearing clothes that are made out of fur. I'm like, why in these shows do humans always revert to like pre-industrial styles of living? And right, there's plenty of stuff like aren't there bike helmets around they could wear on their head instead of cow skulls? And I know it's like about being tribal and like being scary or whatever, but I was just like really like, oh, again, we have people wearing like horns and weird clothes. Like, I was like, not this again, please.
No, I get that, but I also feel like I had said to you, at this point in the apocalypse, though, most of the people that are left are not necessarily good people. They are crazy people.
That's not really true. That's not really true. Like the Commonwealth was full of totally normal people trying to have a normal life, except for their crazy ass governor they had, right? Like there was thousands of normal people living in the
but most of the people that are out alone. Like
Alexandria
that found a way to survive, maybe aren't.
Alexandria was normal people, and Oceanside and the Kingdom. They were all
but I mean, like when you see like a little group of people that are like surviving on their own, like they've probably been through a lot of shit.
I guess. I mean, we don't know that this is a little group of people.
That's true.
Or what they've been through. I just feel like they always like have to meet with. I mean, at least in like I didn't think Dead City was the greatest show, and there was one community of people that looked like dressed like
nature people,
Game of Thrones kind of people or something, right? That one guy that, I mean, there were, and I understand that in like, especially in Dead City, you had to have people dressing differently so you could tell who was who in this show with all these people in it, right? But I feel like there's plenty of clothing and other things around.
I wonder if it's also a fear tactic though, too, just to scare people. I mean, for the average person, if you see people coming along in animal skulls, you might be a little more scared than if you just see people on horseback.
Yes. This was just for effect. This is a tiny boat that couldn't possibly fit more than 3 people. It makes no sense to go out at night, which we see that they miss Daryl and Carol because it's dark. Like, why would you not come in daylight as soon as you see it and overpower these two and take that? Like, it's just for effect, the way they do it on the show.
I don't think they necessarily intended to take the boat. I think they were just, scavenging and stealing what was there.
I don't think they're scavenging. I think this is their territory and they're guarding it. I think they could be scavengers. I think. You mean they were like scavenging what they could off the boat?
Yeah,
I don't think they were out on a midnight scavenging tour.
No. I think they saw it. Maybe they were out and saw it, the lights or whatever. I don't know. But either way,
I thought they waited till dark to come for some reason, which seemed to make no sense.
Sense. Like, well, I didn't really think. I thought maybe they saw their Daryl's light or whatever, and were like.
I mean, I don't know if
there's a boat, we can steal shit.
I don't ride a horse, but I don't know if you want to be out on a horse in the dark. Like, can the horse see where he's going?
When there's walkers around, that's very true.
No, and also he could break his leg, the horse, if he can't see where he's going, is what I mean, right?
Yeah,
I don't know what walkers. It just to me felt like this was really for effect on us, and not for sensible. Like, just when I saw it, I was like, oh, here's another group of freaks dressed up in freak costumes. Look, I am interested in the way stories about the way humans survive and the types of communities they form. It just seems like only horn-wearing freaks are the only people that seem to survive, right? Or religious nuts, or like,
on
The Walking Dead, the original series, like with the Savior, Oceanside, and the Kingdom and all, that was about like a competition for resources, right? And it was only when we got to certain like weirdos like Alpha that we had like cuckoo cult-like communities, which I think this is what this is going to be. But
yeah, I was going to say, I kind of assume that we're probably going to see them again because they attacked the ship.
But no, these people are not. There's like extended trailer and multiple coming like what's up this season, and I've never seen these people. I've seen that guy who like runs the town and demands people sacrifice their daughter and stuff like that, right? Like, all that's in the trailer. These guys are not in the trailer at all.
Right, but I'm guessing since we saw them, we'll probably see them again, because otherwise, what was the point?
Oh, yes, I think we'll see them again. I don't think they're
in the trailer either. I'm just assuming we're going to probably see them at some point.
And then before the end of the episode, we see somebody coming along in a military vehicle. So if they had that, why'd they come on horses? It has to be different people, right?
Yeah, I would guess it was different people.
Yeah.
So yeah, Daryl comes back, and I thought I had a picture of it here somewhere. Maybe I skipped it. There, where he's like, she's so delirious, and he's like, "You got to be quiet." So he quiets her down. So they lost all their stuff, except probably the hot dogs. I don't know if they say they have the hot dogs, but they probably do. So yeah, they took everything they have. The boat's broken. They're kind of screwed. So they wait till morning, and they're going to take off and see where they can go. And they end up, he helps her, and they get to, there's a sign that says Costa. Now there it says Costa de la Morte, Coast of the Dead. But what I don't understand is the episode's called Costa da Morte. And I don't know why they changed the title, because I thought De La Morte was the way it would be spelled, but
De
La Morte. Yeah, I don't know. According to the press thing, it was Costa da Morte. So I don't know. But anyway, yeah, see there, it's about down below, it says Costa de Morte. So maybe it's like a short version. I don't know.
I think like
either way, it's Coast of the Dead or Coast of Dead.
Well, so yeah, Costa de Morte means like coast of death, right? And like De La, I don't know. I mean, I guess there's different.
Well, like Dios de los Muertos is, Day of the Dead, so it's like Coast of the Dead.
Whatever. But it's the real name of the place, right? Is the Coast of Death? Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
It is.
Yeah, but they're in. Oh, Carol's like, that's not how you spell Mexico. Like, we've got some fun.
And Daryl goes, "Welcome to Spain, amigo."
Yep, they are there. They see these zombie walkers in traps. Now, I have to question, did they trap walkers or did they trap humans and then nobody came back for them and they turned into walkers?
Well, we don't know at this point, but I think the promo for next week gives it away, that why they're catching walkers on purpose. Yeah.
Yeah, I would assume that they were captured.
I mean, you saw the promo for next week, right?
Yeah. I didn't really pay tons of attention because I didn't think about it. But
But we don't really know if
right.
they
They're
accidentally
using them to,
it seems if you accidentally
Yeah.
catch all these walkers, then maybe you need to change the type of trap you have for humans. How annoying to catch like 50 walkers every day when you're not trying to catch them.
Yeah. Either way, they were there, they're stuck, and they gotta avoid them. So then they find this little shack, and he fixes up her wound again. And there's like a whole scene where she gets him to play I Spy because he hates it. And
She has to stay awake.
Yes,
right?
she's
And
obviously got a concussion. And he says that, or she tells him about the tunnel, and she says that he lies. And he says he's never lied to her. And she says, no, but you hide stuff. She wants to know what he really saw. So he finally does admit that he saw Isabel and that she told him to keep going. And he thought he was going to give up, but it made him keep going. And
blah, blah, blah.
They can't give up. And there she says about the hot dogs there. But yeah, she gets him to play I Spy. So yeah, he's trying to keep her awake. And then there's like so many opportunities for fanfic in this episode. I'm sorry. That's all I think when I watch this. It's like there totally is.
Yeah, I just don't see it on you people who ship these two. I just don't see it on the screen. I see a really great friendship.
I see a great friendship too, but I just think it could be more. But either way, it's not on the show, so it doesn't matter. Yeah, Carol wakes up and doesn't see him. And then Daryl goes.
This is a beautiful place, right? I mean, it doesn't look like it just rained like a mother the night before, but
yeah, it should have been wet.
But it's a beautiful, barren kind of a landscape here.
Yeah, but she wakes up. She don't see him. He's off going for food, and then this truck, military type truck, drives by, and he hides. He's like, "Oh shit." But then when he goes back, Carol's gone, probably because Carol couldn't find him when she woke up. Like, it's probably his own fault because he didn't wait till she woke up.
Shouldn't she? She should know better by now. It's probably because of her concussion that's having her make bad decisions, right?
I feel like she should have just waited. But either way, he's like, Carol, where are you? Look, all I think is that I think this episode should have ended like 5 minutes later.
Why? What do you want to see after this?
No, I just mean, like, I don't like that I don't know. I just think it's dumb the way they ended it. Like, we've waited this long for them to be together. Like, they better not separate them for a long period of time, which it doesn't look like from the previews they're going to be.
Well, they were together for like half of last season.
Yeah, I know. But I'm just saying, like, I'm like, really? Again? You two lost each other?
Well, I'm pretty sure she got picked up by those guys, right?
Maybe, yeah. But at any rate, I don't know. I just, it irritated me. Like, why not end it before that when they were in the little hut then?
Well, you mean we should end it 5 minutes earlier. You said 5 minutes later.
I guess I mean 5 minutes earlier, yeah. Either way, I wish they had ended it when they were together rather than ending it that they can't find each other.
But this is the cliffhanger. It has to end on the cliffhanger that she's missing.
Yes, but I don't like that they could kill partner. That was my whole point. I don't like it.
Have you ever watched TV? It has to end on the cliffhanger.
I know, but it's only the first episode. I don't know. It just kind of irritated me because I feel like they finally got back together, and I'm like, and now you're pulling them apart again. That irritates me. Look, it is what it is. I'm just saying it irritates me. That's all. But I don't like that they. But hopefully he'll find her soon.
I mean, he will. He's going to follow those guys, and I mean, she's in all the right.
She's in the trailers. I mean, clearly they're together through most.
They're going to go and destroy this town. Whoever picked her up, they're going to destroy their town before it's over. Like every town they go to, they destroy it before they leave, right?
This is what they do. Yes, they destroy everything they touch, right?
They do, right? They do. Somehow they're the heroes, but they destroy everyone and everything they touch. They're very selfish people. Like when they were like, Julian, you have a boat? Oh, we got to go to North America, like within 5 minutes of meeting him almost. Not 5 minutes, but, pretty early. And then they're trying to get him drunk. They're not drinking. They want to get him drunk. So they're very.
Were they getting him drunk, or was that just me said I thought they were going to get him drunk and take the boat? Were they supposed to?
Did you see when they were taking the scotch, the whiskey, and throwing
it? They did dump it out. I forgot they did.
They were like, we have some more whiskey, and then he'd drink it, and they'd throw it away and not drink it. They were like. That's
why I thought they were going to steal the boat, but then they trusted him to come back.
They're very inconsiderate, and I mean, I know they want to get home, but they have no regard for this man's life.
And I kind of don't like that. I feel like, I know that they get everybody killed, but they used to still be like the good guys, and anymore they're kind of like, I don't want to say they're the bad guys, but yeah, they very much don't care what happens to other people. And I feel like these are supposed to be the heroes. Maybe they should act a little bit more like it. I don't know. That's kind of how I felt.
I mean,
so I really didn't think, and it was funny, but
I hate to defend this character, but as horrible as Negan was, Negan always said like people are a resource, and while he's quick to kill, he always said he didn't want to kill people, but then he was pretty quick to kill people when he right. But they don't really care what kind of destruction they leave in their wake. They're so sure that they are right and what they want is the right thing, and they are the judge, jury, and decider of everything, right?
Yeah. Well, I guess like the beginning of the shows, the original show, like it used to be like they'd pick people up along the way and they'd all become a bigger community. And now I feel like they're just like, give me your boat. And I guess that's, I don't know. I just expected, I would like them to be a little nicer, I guess. If it had worked out, he would have been with a lot of people, not alone forever. Yeah, and they weren't trying to hurt him or anything. It's just I did kind of wonder when they were getting him drunk.
They just didn't care if they hurt him or he got killed. Yeah. They really didn't care.
But if he had said no, do you think they would have taken the boat? Like I feel like they would have stolen it anyway.
Yeah, and they can't sail it by themselves. They can't steal it. They need him to. They need him to take them. They need to manipulate him into taking them.
But it's just like last season, like they tried to steal the plane, even though they didn't really know how to fly.
It's just like when this is not just like, but Carol invested a lot of time in manipulating Ash to get him to fly her across the world, right? And she didn't really care what happened to him, I don't think. And it's not a cool. They have a real disregard for human life, and I know they've seen a lot of death and they're really traumatized, but like at this point, is every human life valuable? Pretty much, right? Unless you're like a psycho like Alpha or I don't know, other people that they seem to meet all the time. But when they meet a person who's willing to, they just want to manipulate people into helping them and give them what they want, and they don't really have any regard. You're right, they're not trying to kill him, but I don't think they really care that much that he died.
And that's what I'm saying. I feel like if he had refused, they would have found a way to sail it. In this show, they probably could have sailed it on their own. Let's be honest.
They would have continued to manipulate him.
I guess they would have threatened him, maybe something. I felt bad about Ash too, Kelly.
I did too. Yeah. And I think Carol did kind of feel bad after a while.
Just did it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah. They're not very, they're very selfish. What they want is all that matters.
I mean,
but they do.
I guess at this point in the world, you have to take what you want. But I would like to see less of that, I guess. I just would like sometimes to see them be more the way they used to be at the beginning of the show. And I get it. People are jaded and it's the end of the world. Sometimes I'd like to see them be a little more hero-ish.
I mean, they do kind of sometimes. They're like, oh, particularly Carol will be like, this is a bad town. This form of government is bad, or these people are bad and we need to help them and we need to kill their leader, right? And so they'll do something like that sometimes also, which is, I'm like, wait, you're like the most selfish person ever. You get all these people killed and now you've decided that you're going to help these people, but really in the end, they usually destroy the whole town and then move on. And these people are left with like, what, right? Yeah. They're very, these are very, I'm conflicted about these characters, right? I like them. They're fan favorite characters that earned their own spinoff, but they're kind of jerky sometimes, right?
Yeah, they can be. I would agree with that. But I guess we'll see what happens, as it goes on. I don't know.
Yeah. So in like the promo for next week, we see Daryl riding a motorcycle, which you can't have a show without Daryl riding a motorcycle.
Have Daryl on his motorcycle.
He always finds a motorcycle. You commented like we have to just accept the unlimited fuel. Like somehow fuel doesn't go back.
You got to get over it. Yeah.
Right? Like, I don't know how in this place in Spain they are having unlimited fuel also. They seem to, in New York, they run their electricity off Walker juice. and it seems to be in Dead City, it's like not a known technology. Like they want to come to New York, right? Like Pearlie wants to come to New York and like steal the technology and learn how to
That's how they're getting their electricity.
make his own Walker juice.
I like that they had a way they were generating the power, and it would be cool if there was a way. I mean, I guess there's really no way they could do the gas other than like they had that little scene in Rick and Michonne's show where they used the vegetable oil or whatever and converted them,
which you can do now. Or in Fear, they learned how to have children operate an oil refinery, which was ridiculous. And I can't remember last year how the terrible French lady was getting power. But we have to just accept that they were unable to do this show, or they decided at some point that they didn't want to run this franchise without fuel, which would be what would really happen is that in like 6 months, gas would not be working anymore, right?
Yeah, but they couldn't have them cross the country so quickly if they didn't have gas. Well, they probably still could.
Or, I mean, we talked last season, like ridiculous part where Daryl crosses the ocean on a freighter, which would take literally tens of thousands of gallons of boat fuel to
It floated and somehow made it there quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's those kind of things you have.
We accept that. We just accept that they've conquered the problem of fuel. If only we could figure that out now and have unlimited fuel. But it's just not a thing on the show to worry about fuel. And so Daryl has a motorcycle. These guys have army.
Well, it's like the fact that they somehow found, a boat more than once. They found a plane last season. Like, eventually before the end of the show, they're probably going to get back to America. It's like they're going to have to find another boat or plane. It's just because there just happens to be so many of these, hanging around.
Yeah.
Helicopter or something to get them over. So
maybe the CRM will get them. I think that, so if you've watched I don't want to spoil things, but I think all of us have seen the trailers. Everybody who's in the chat probably has seen the trailers and the promo for next week or whatever. And we've seen they're going to be in a town with a mayor or whatever. I feel like maybe the Horn people, can I call it the Horn people? Is that what we're going to call them? They might be like, I guess we're going to I feel like maybe there are two communities that are in conflict, and one are these like rustic, pre-industrial looking, I shouldn't say pre-industrial just because they ride horses, but the horse guys and the Jeep guys, right?
Yeah, but they look very, they definitely gave off the air. I mean, who knows? Like I said, maybe they're just wearing masks like that to scare people. I mean, they could go back to their town and have,
I guess to scare who? There's nobody around.
I don't know, Karen. I'm just giving an example. I have no idea. I'm just saying maybe that's why, because that could be a reason if they were trying to freak people out, and maybe they go back to their town and they have lights and everything else. I don't know. I guess
we don't know. You haven't seen screeners for this?
I'm watching it with you.
Good. Yay, that's great. I feel like maybe there's two communities. That's a big thing on these shows, right? Like last year there were two communities in France. And where was he in season 1? This is season 3. Season 2 is in France.
Season 1 was
also in France. Was he in France for 2 years?
No, I think the first was this. I think he ended up there in the second season. I feel like. First season, what are you going to say?
He went to Maine and then he got kidnapped on the freighter.
No, he was in there in France on season 1
for 2 seasons. Yeah.
So I guess the beginning was the freighter.
But there were like two communities. There was the Paris community and the religious community, right? And
Samuel says there should have been an oil drone refinery at some point, like Mad Max.
Yeah, or like on Fear the Walking Dead. Did they also call it Gas Town on Fear the Walking Dead? Or Oil Town? They called it something like that.
I don't remember that.
What's her name? That Nick's old girlfriend was running Luciana was running this oil refinery with mostly little kids for her crew. I mean, it's kind of silly, but at least it gives you a reason of where all the fuel is coming from, right?
Right.
At least it gives you a reason. So, but it's just a thing. So, anyway, we come to the end of it. I feel like it wasn't even really, it was sort of a setup, but really next episode is going to be a setup episode, setting up.
Yeah, that's what I said earlier. I feel like not a whole lot.
Tank Town. They called it Tank Town. Tank Town on Fear. Thank you, Kelly.
All right. but yeah, I don't know. I just feel like everything that happened here, it can be not important because like it was self-contained. Like, yes, Carol was hurt. And I think that is something that may cause issues later because at least I wouldn't think on this show, you don't know. But I don't think she would like not be sick or not be infected or whatever. But, other than that, I mean, and whatever happened to her at the end of the episode, the rest of it's kind of irrelevant other than they went from the tunnel to Spain. That's really
Well,
the
there had to be a way for them to get to Spain, which is not in the wrong direction and not their intention, right? So I guess, I mean, it sets up. I don't know why they
can pretty much summarize the whole episode for anybody who missed it in like a couple sentences. They got to Spain. That's all that you need to
I don't know why the writers chose Spain, if they thought it'd be cool to shoot in Spain, or like I'll be interested to watch this season and see is this a season that could only happen in Spain, or could have been in the UK or whatever. But I mean, I do appreciate that they're choosing interesting landscapes and cities and places to shoot in. And without starting a whole new show about the epidemic in Europe, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it kind of is a whole new show about Europe, but we have our characters taking us there. And
yeah, I'm not sure why they didn't. I guess they wanted it to be
different. It's great that they like in France, they worked with like a lot of, French actors and like an all French crew. And now they have an all Spanish crew. And I guess we'll see a lot of actors we are not familiar with who, work in the Spanish industry. So it's kind of cool that they're doing that, I think, right?
Yeah, and it looks really good. I mean, I enjoy seeing that. I'm not sure if next season they're supposed to be mostly in Spain or what.
You mean this current season or a season that is not yet written or renewed yet?
Season 4. I think they're filming. I want to say I think they were filming them together. Maybe I don't know, but either way, it's been renewed for the 4th and final season already. So.
Oh yeah. Oh,
yeah,
that's 4th and final season.
Yeah, so much. I mean, I assume they're going to eventually make it back to America, but. I don't know.
There'll be some other,
Spain, maybe it's in another country in Europe. I don't know.
Then there'll be some other show because they want to keep this on for like 50 years.
Yeah, in the scheme of things, I would rather them do more Carol and Daryl. I like Carol and Daryl. I mean, maybe a different story, but I don't know that I want a different spinoff. I don't need another spinoff, right?
Well, yeah, and like the cast is all like not a. Unless they're going to go to Dead City, the cast is not available, right? There's only like these two, and the other two working on Dead City are the only legacy characters still available.
Yeah, I wonder what they have planned, but I guess we'll have to wait and see.
We'll see what this season does. I mean, if nothing else, I'm looking forward to seeing this beautiful countryside of Spain.
Yes, it's very pretty. I was going to say, I wore my Daryl shirt, but you can't even see it in the video. That's what I see.
Yeah. That's okay.
Younger Daryl.
Yeah. So
Samuel said Kirkman said this story could go on forever.
Oh yeah. Then they can go to Portugal, they can go to Italy, Greece, up to Scandinavia. They can go all like Europe offers a lot of, right?
I guess I'm just kind of curious, like what other characters they'd have a spinoff of if they make a new spinoff, other than like Judith and RJ.
I mean, they could do that. Walking Dead, the next generation, like World Beyond was not a good kid show. They could do a better kid show, probably.
Yeah. But I just legacy character wise, I think if they were going to do something, they might have done it already. So I don't know.
Well, I mean, I consider Judith a legacy character, and you could recast her.
Yeah, they had her like an adult or whatever. Yeah, but I just
we don't know. But it could go on forever. So that's Samuel. That's interesting that go on forever. It's also kind of scary that go on forever, like because Fear the Walking Dead felt it like went on forever because the quality declined year after year after year. After like season 3, maybe the quality continued to like decline.
Yeah, Fear was kind of the bad one. The other ones, at least, they ended before they got quite to that point.
Yeah, Fear's kind of an example of what can happen when a show outlives its.
Yeah, and it stinks too because it had good characters on it. Like Morgan was great, but they ruined him so many times.
Morgan was a crossover character, and they ruined him. Right? They changed his personality.
Like they could do a spinoff of Morgan, and it could have been really good, but no, they had to like make him not want to kill people, then make him want to kill people, then make him not want to kill people, then make him want to kill people, then have some random kid, and it's like,
yeah. Well, Laura will be back next week, right? I'm sorry, kind of sorry she wasn't
No,
here.
Lori's not coming back, so I don't think to do this. So
Oh, she's not coming back? Wait, so I'm the co-host now?
If you'll do it, yeah. If we decide we want to keep doing
Okay.
If you want to
All
see
right.
it, please let us know if you want to see it.
Oh,
If nobody wants to
all
see
right.
it, then we won't do it.
Yeah, I thought it was just sitting in for tonight. I can do it. Let us know, you guys, if you want to continue this. It would have been interesting to have Lori. Lori is I'm not sure if she is a psychologist or she's just interested in the psychology of character.
No, she's a psychologist or a psychiatrist. I'm not sure which. I think it's a psychologist. But
So when I was going on and on about how Carol and Daryl are like kind of selfish people, I know they've been through a lot. They're traumatized. Like I'm sure Lori would have a lot of like thoughts about
that.
Why they are the way they are.
Yeah. Well, Lori, I think is taking a break for right now, but hopefully we'll see her again at some point. But yeah. Right now,
we all need a little like online break once in a while. Kelly would like us to continue. That's cool.
Glad you think so, Kelly.
All right, we'll keep it up. We'll keep it up.
Well, there's not a whole lot on right now, so it's working out.
Well, there's more coming. So, so this show, what did this go on tonight at 11? It'll be every Sunday night at 11.
We did 11:30 just because sometimes it's hard to get it for the.
Oh yeah, because after the watch party, yeah. Okay. Oh, Golden Child was here. All right. Well, I'm good for the season except for the one night that the Ravens play at home. The Ravens have an at home at 8:00, and I'll be at work, so I have to miss that one night. But
all right, fair enough. But yes, we'll be back then probably next week at 11:30. Just always, look at Discord. It'll give you an updated schedule. But meanwhile, Scarlett and I will be back tomorrow, 9:30 for the watch party. These are all Eastern times, and 11 for Wednesday on Monday.
Do Wednesday on Monday.
Wednesday on Monday, yes. That will be tomorrow, I guess technically tonight will be Monday. And then Tuesday, we have, of course, Fandom Access at 10 with me, you, and AJ. And then Wednesday, we have Alien Earth at 11. And I believe that Cyborg Queen Media is going to guest as well. So,
all right. I think on Fandom Access, it's only me and AJ this week, right? Because we're only talking about.
Because I still haven't seen Invasion or Star Trek. So
Invasion and Star Trek are the only shows that we're doing this week. So, okay. All right.
So yeah, guys, please come back and hopefully we'll see you tomorrow. And
Trey, the Ravens played tonight, but we were on the road. I'm a bartender. I only work at home games, so that's why I was available tonight.
But either way, glad you guys enjoyed it, and thank you for coming. And
thanks everybody. This was fun, and this was pretty fast for a.
Yeah, I don't think it's something that we need to go super.
No, and it was a premiere episode. Never really is like that loaded.
Yeah, there wasn't a whole lot.
Yeah. So.
All right, everybody.
All right, thanks everybody. All right, thanks.
Bye bye.